I believe it's time to address the elephant in the room, right? In case it wasn't obvious enough, with me constantly wearing Gambit merch, if it wasn't obvious enough, all the figures that I have of Wolverine and Gambit, and if it wasn't obvious enough, I'm doing a Gambit cosplay sometime in the near future. I was supposed to do that a week or two ago, but eye contacts are very, very hard to put in. In case it's not obvious already, Gambit is my favorite superhero, right? I absolutely loved him ever since I was first introduced to him, which was from the X-Men animated series. I think it was in the 90s. I remember my dad showed me it. That was one of the shows that he would watch after he'd get off work back in the day, because when he would get off, he would be off around 10 p.m. Once he'd put on, I think it was Fox. He said he'd put on Fox and X-Men animated was on. After I was born, my dad showed me. Back in the day, YouTube's copyright laws were a lot more flexible. So he would just Google the whole show on YouTube and it was there. Like the first 2-3 seasons were there. I watched episode 1, season 1, all the way up to whenever Apocalypse showed up. I don't remember. It was years ago. Ever since then, Gambit was just my absolute favorite. Everything about the way that he dressed, the way that he talked, his powers. Absolutely loved everything about him. He was just the coolest fucking hero I've ever seen in my entire life. The only thing that sucked about being a Gambit fan is that he wasn't really welcomed in a lot of medias for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe he just wasn't the moneymaker. Dude, this is fucking annoying. Holy shit. I don't know. I don't know why he wasn't really welcomed into it, because he was barely in any shows. He was barely in any movies. I'm gonna get into that later, right? In my last video, I was kind of just rambling off of memory, even though I kept looking to the left. That's my tick. I didn't have any notes this time. I have notes, my friend. So my ADHD doesn't overtake the conversation I'm trying to have with you guys. Yeah, so maybe for about 3 weeks now, I've been rewatching all the X-Men movies. I got into X-Men 97. I'm finally starting to watch that. I just finished episode 1 today. But X-Men 1 through 3, I want to talk about the original trilogy in a later video. Amazing movies. Especially, I mean, like, even considering what time period they were in, the early 2000s, fantastic. You know what I mean? I want to get into that into a later video. That's not really what I wanted to talk about today. Today, I wanted to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine is the first movie to actually use Gambit in live action, right? We've had teasers in X2. He was on I think it was Trask's like data logs. He was tracking Remy LeBeau, and then he was in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Rewatching Deadpool and Wolverine, such a good movie, man. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know if I'm just like nostalgia biased because it had Blade, Elektra, and Gambit, Wolverine, Deadpool. I don't know if that's it, but I genuinely, absolutely love the movie. You can have your own thoughts on it. I had an amazing time. And even just thinking about the hype for that movie releasing, waiting for that movie to come out in theaters, and then seeing it opening night, Thursday night, it's fucking amazing. I loved every single moment of it, and it's definitely going to be just one of those things I want to remember for the rest of my life. I remember when the what's it called, the Void team, when everyone showed up one by one. I remember seeing that card fly out. I got excited, and then I kind of just sat back down on my chair. I was like, yeah, no way. Like, Gambit's not going to be in this movie. Because Elektra and Blade, they already had their own movies. In terms of the multiverse, we already knew who they were. Why would Gambit show up randomly, right? Someone catches the card. He grabs it with his 2 fingers. You see the brown trench coat. He didn't have any gloves on, but you see the brown trench coat. And I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way. And then, boom. Not only does Gambit walk out, but Channing Tatum walks out, dude. To me, like, I literally jumped out of my theater and I turned to the left to my brother and I was like, are you fucking serious, dude? I was so excited, right? Channing Tatum, I'm super, super happy for him that he got the role, because when I was in school, 2016, 2017, Fox had announced a Gambit movie. And during this time, they were super on the idea of doing X-Men Origins films. The only one that actually got made was Wolverine. But if I remember correctly, they were going to do X-Men Origins X-Men Origins Magneto, X-Men Origins Gambit, and X-Men Origins Cyclops. I might be misremembering. I might be completely bullshitting. I don't know. That's what I remember reading in middle school. I remember seeing like all these reports about like, oh, they're going to make all these solo films for all these characters for the X-Men. And Gambit was one of them. And I remember Channing Tatum was the person that got casted as Gambit. I was super excited for it because as a kid, again, loving Gambit, this is the first time we're really gonna see Gambit on the screen, right? And there was this fan made art of him in like fully in his comic accurate suit, which looked fucking amazing. I was super excited for it. The only form of media that we had in live action from Gambit up until that point was X-Men Origins Wolverine. I forget the actor's name. I don't know how people react to it now, but I remember when that movie first came out, people didn't really respond to it well. As a kid, I thought it was really, really cool. I loved it just because it was Gambit. And then I got older and I was like, it wasn't too good. But right now, looking back on it, it was not terrible. It wasn't bad. Obviously, there's better out there. The only thing that I'd say fuck no to was that fedora. I have no idea why bro had a fedora. That just made no sense to me, and it ripped away like the whole Gambit character. Honestly, if he didn't have that Gambit, if he didn't have that fedora, right, like those shots where you just see like his long hair and he's just throwing cards and shit, it looks really cool. The fedora ruined everything, like negative aura. You know what I mean? But that cameo is the only form of media that we had of Gambit up until that point. And then when Fox announced this movie, I was super excited about it. Anytime in school we had like a project where we could write about whatever we wanted, I would always write about, they're gonna make this movie, it's gonna be so cool. I love Gambit so much. And I just remember every single month I kept seeing updates, or I'd search for updates, right? Just every single month. 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, every single month of every single year, I would check. And it just kept saying delayed. And then Disney bought Marvel. And I don't think there was ever really like a confirmation that the movie was canceled. But after 4 or 5 years, everyone just stopped giving a shit. Even I just stopped keeping track of it. I was like, okay, they're not going to make it. They're not going to say that it's canceled, but they're not going to make the movie. It's been way too long. After Disney bought Fox, I think Dark Phoenix was officially announced as like the last Fox X-Men movie, and it went through all these reshoots and blah blah blah. That sucked because I was super excited about that movie, and that excitement never went anywhere. From 6th grade all the way up until like after the pandemic, I was still excited to see that movie, and I just knew it wasn't going to happen. That sucked. Watching Deadpool and Wolverine and just seeing Channing Tatum come out, it was like, what the fuck? Like, why is this a decision that you make? I'm not mad at all. I love it, but it's so rare to be shocked nowadays because of all the leaks and everything like that. That came out of nowhere. Not a single soul on Earth knew that was going to happen. So that was just the greatest surprise I've ever received in my entire life. One thing that I do want to talk about for Deadpool and Wolverine, Gambit being in Deadpool and Wolverine, I remember when Channing Tatum originally got casted for the Gambit solo film, in an interview, he talked about Gambit using telekinesis, or he said they were going to add, like, he said he was going to use the Force or something like the Force in the movie. Which I don't remember anything like that in the comics, but I thought it was really cool. Or I mean, obviously, I couldn't say that it was cool or not, but I thought it was an interesting idea because, again, his powers aren't energy projection, it's energy manipulation, right? So if he's able to manipulate kinetic energy, in terms of comic book logic, he would be able to kind of use telekinesis. That's kind of what he does anyways. When he throws the cards, he kind of decides when things explode. You know what I mean? I just want to when I was rewatching Deadpool and Wolverine, I saw there's this one scene where he's throwing cards and he just makes them float. I don't know if anyone else caught on to this or if I'm just tweaking, but I swear to God, he used that telekinesis power that he was talking about. And I like rewatching that, I was like, I felt like Leonardo DiCaprio, like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, just like, oh, I saw that. That's really, really cool. On top of that, man, Gambit's first appearance being in a rated R movie, right? So he's not a rated R character at all, right? He's just an X-Men. He's a PG-13 guy, PG guy. But him debuting in a rated R movie, I can't exactly explain why it was so special seeing him in a rated R movie, and he was able to do whatever he wants, say whatever he wants, curse. He was able. I'm not like an edgy guy. Like, I'm not like an edgelord where like, oh, we need gore, we need him to say fuck, we need him to say like cock. Like, I'm not one of those guys. But it was just super refreshing and something very, very amazing about seeing my favorite character and seeing him in a form of media where he's able to do whatever he wants, right? He's not restricted by any sort of ratings or anything like that. He can say whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants. He can really show his full potential. And on top of that, right? Again, this is just full glazing session because I just love Gambit. Every single shot that he had in that movie was fucking perfect, dude. In my opinion, seeing him do the spring of the cards where he like, you know what I mean? Him with the bow staff and him exploding everything and throwing all the cards, the cinematography and like all the work that Channing Tatum put in, not only to the accent, but to his fighting style, right? He learned how to use a bow staff. He did all the flips and everything like that. That one shot where he's just taking everyone out, he did that in one shot. Just seeing that amount of dedication to a character is something that we don't really see a lot nowadays. I feel like we live in a world that really, really lacks creativity. Or at least in Hollywood, we live in a world where there's not really a lot of passion. Most people are kind of just doing projects for a paycheck. When Channing Tatum played Gambit, you can tell that he wanted to be there, and that was super, super special. I'm very, very happy for him, and I'm super, super glad that he got announced to be playing Gambit again in Avengers Doomsday. Not only did he get casted, right, but in Avengers Doomsday, the production, like the cast announcement, Ian McKellen's going to be there, Patrick Stewart's going to be there, Beast, Mystique, Cyclops, everyone's going to be there. So not only is Channing Tatum's Gambit coming back, he's going to be with the rest of the X-Men. This is this is just like the kid me talking right now. This is the biggest, like the coolest thing they could have possibly announced. And I'm super excited for it. I think they said it was releasing in 2026. That date cannot come any sooner. I swear to God, I am super, super excited about this movie. Even if it's going to be a bad movie, just of any chance that it's Marvel flops the movie, just the cast and I'm sure the cinematography, it's going to be worth seeing, right? The nostalgia, it's going to be worth seeing, at least for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to go on a really quick rant. My last video was kind of the replacement. I was gonna do a Gambit cosplay video, but I couldn't put my contacts in because it turns out that's very, very hard. This shit's actually just pissing me off the wrong way is what it's doing, dude. And it's on the fucking ground. Awesome. So I kind of just turned on my camera and started ranting. That video did surprisingly well. That was technically a what do you call it? A content switch. Usually I do Marvel Rivals or gaming content. That was my first real commentary video. So thank you guys very, very much for the support. I really do appreciate it. And thank you guys for commenting. It was very, very awesome being able to connect with you guys and hear everyone's opinions. And same thing with this video. Go ahead and share everything. Go ahead and talk about anything X-Men related or Gambit related. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Yeah, man, those discussions were really, really cool, and I really do appreciate you guys for stopping by and sharing your thoughts. Outside of that, I do want to do more commentary videos like this and my last video. They're just fun to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not really gonna explain myself after that. They're really fun to do, and that's why I'm doing this channel. I just want to have fun and connect with you guys was 1,000,000% adding on to that. So thank you guys so much for stopping by again. Soon I want to do not really like an analysis video, but kind of like a nostalgic overview of the original X-Men trilogy, because I did rewatch all those movies and god damn, they're so good, dude. I don't know what it is, but they were just so well made. I want to make a video about that. I want to make a video comparing about the 3 Hulks. I want to do a Gambit cosplay video. I want to do all sorts of stuff, right? So definitely stay tuned for that kind of stuff. I can't wait to connect with you guys more. And thank you guys for watching. I really, really do appreciate you guys for staying up this long. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Obviously, again, like, please feel free to comment any of your thoughts. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Jesus. Okay, this is going to be hard to do. It's fucking ridiculous.